Gammel Estrup is a very old manor house. It's from 14th century, and it actually had the same family here for almost 600 years, which is very special in Denmark. So it's a very special house with a very special family, which we can follow through the centuries, and that's what makes Gammel Estrup very special. The exhibition that we're opening today is about the end of the 1800s, and it's about the family here in that period, which was Christiane Munk, was she called, and her husband Jørgen Scheel, who was the couple who lived here in that period. It was a period of very good economy on the manor houses. They were very fortunate. Also, the farming was very good at that time, so they were very wealthy. And it was also a period when the family became very important, the parents and the children together. Before, it was more the large family which was important, and the parents became much closer to the children in this period. That's why we have chosen to show that the parents' bedroom was next to the children's bedroom, which is quite new in this period. So that's the story we're trying to tell by showing these rooms.
What do these walls tell? What kind of stories? How was their life, in their daily life?
Yeah, the daily life was maybe quite different to ours because they didn't have television and all that. I think the husband of the house, which was the owner of the manor, he of course had to attend the estate and do all these practical things. And the mother was a very important figure in the family because she was connecting all the members of the family, and she was in charge of the children and the bringing up of the children. This particular couple had 8 children, which was quite a lot, and she was in charge of the upbringing of the daughters, who was brought up in the house, and they went to school in the house, which as the boys actually went to school in the house until they were about 10 years old, and then they were brought off to other schools. Well, daily life, it's difficult to say because we know that they were quite a lot together as a family. That was anyway the ideal. And they played together, and they sang together, and they were reading together. That was what they were doing when they were together. It was the mother of the house wrote a lot of letters because she was the one who was in charge of having the relationship with the rest of the family as well. And this was also taught on to the daughters of the house. They were taught to be mistresses of the house as well. They had a lot of servants in a house like this. It's a very large house, and they didn't have, until 1900s, they didn't have water in the whole house. So the servants had to get water from downstairs and up to the second floor where the exhibition is, and fill the bathtub and for washing and everything, and they had to put it down again. They had to serve the food, they had to make the food, and there were very many people in the house, so there was a lot of food which had to be made, and they had many guests as well. And of course they had all this room to clean, so they had someone to clean it. Many people were here at that time.
You could preserve some of the original carpets, so maybe paintings. Could you explain a little?
Of course. What we're trying to do here is we use as much as the original stuff that we at all can. And if we can't get the original ones, sometimes we have small pieces of it that we can reconstruct. And that's what we have done on the walls with the wallpaper. That's in the drawing room, for example, we had an old wallpaper from 1860, which we could reconstruct. It was too bad a shape that we could hang it up, but we could reconstruct it the same way as they did in 1860. And in the bedroom, we had some of the original wallpaper, and we could reconstruct the rest of it. The carpets, we didn't know what patterns they were on. We knew that there had been carpets on the floor. We could find small pieces of it. And then we had to go to old archives in England, for example, where there were people who made carpets from the 18th century and 19th century, and they had a very large archive with carpets, and with them we could work out a solution and find a pattern that fitted.
That seems like a long process. How long did it take to set up this exhibition?
It is a long time process. It has taken about a year, this one. So we have been busy.
What has been more challenging or more difficult?
The most challenging thing is to get everything to work together, because we have so many people in this process. We have people in England, we have people in the United States, and we have people from Germany who helps us, and we have all the people around here as well. So that's been challenging, but also very, very interesting to work with so many different kinds of people, and people who can do so many different things. And when we succeed, it becomes even better when there are so many different people in.
So you're satisfied with the results?
I think I am, yes.
Just to finish, at the very beginning you mentioned that this house has belonged to this particular family for 600 years. Yes. What happened?
Yes. In 1926 they had to sell the house because there were many reasons for that. Earlier in the 19th century we had bad economy in the house and also in the country, so they didn't have that much money left. But it got better in the end of the 19th century. But in 1990 they got a new law in Denmark which actually made it impossible for the oldest son to inherit the estate. They had to share, all siblings had to share it, and there were 11 of them, so they couldn't share it in a good way, so they had to sell it.